it's to a certain extent paradoxical as well because you're putting on a mask, especially when we're talking about deconditioning and delayering. But I'm just wondering, like, how have your acting journey shaped your awakening?
Okay, so I got into acting completely by accident. It was unplanned and was sort of put into this environment where I didn't speak the language, but I had to act in it. I was never trained in acting, but I had to do the job. And I was just very fortunate to be surrounded by people who were very supportive in terms of helping me with the language, helping me with what to do, right? Some camera sense or where to stand and just little tips. But I think looking back now, I was also very fortunate that they were energetically so immersed in their roles that all I really needed to do was react to them. And then that created the story that people respond to. Because it's real feelings responded to with real feelings. And with each character, you also infuse a lot of yourself as you create it, as you play against, with your other co-actors. And I think over time you realize that all these different identities are also parts of you. And that's, in the one sense, yes, they are masks, but there's also different parts of you. Sometimes I'm a bitch. Sometimes, I'm, high-strung. Sometimes I'm just very quiet. Sometimes I'm very judgmental. All these things are part of you, right? Even though you infuse into a character and you take it to an extreme so the audience can see it, so they can react to it. But if you sit down and look at all these pieces, they are parts of you. And when you suppress them, when you say, oh, I'm only this, those other things are not me, then that also creates a disconnect with your inner self, right? So it's about, when people talk about shadow work, it's also looking at things that are maybe not so nice, but accepting that they are parts of you. And it is part of the human experience. And having emotional reactions are, that's what the body is designed to do. Then you look at pausing, right? Awareness comes with the pause and allowing the awareness to come, where you then can make a choice between an unconscious reaction or a very conscious choice. And it's just a pause. Just think of it as taking a breath before you respond instead of reacting. So it's having the opportunity to learn that is a great thing. And you practice that daily. And sometimes it doesn't work, right? Sometimes lots of things are going on and you're just like reacting. And then it's like, oh, wait, you catch yourself. And it's like, okay, didn't do that so well. How can I maybe give myself a little reminder to pause? Maybe you have a little signal to yourself, right? Tap a finger or like think of something, create an image. Maybe it's a sound. But find a way to remind yourself to just pause.
This I need to learn from you. Because I'm constantly doing. And I think what Michelle, you say, is actually incredibly enlightening because it's the pauses that give you that. And the pauses is the breath in your life. And with that, you get realigned perspectives. You get realigned motivations as well. And you have clarity.
And as you integrate the different roles you've played for me professionally as well as in life, you also realize there's parts of yourself that sort of really integrate, and then it's like, oh, it's not like a whole new person, but it's growth. And it's sort of a growth that you can't really chart on a graph. It doesn't go like that, right? It's a spiral. So it's a gentle growth. Sometimes you take the same lesson over again in different forms, and then you spiral upwards, but it's a spiral. It's very gentle. Sometimes there's like a quick transition, but most of the time it's very gentle, and to be patient with that and to enjoy it.
I was wondering, over time, do you think playing different roles and different characters, did that help you detach from a certain identity? So then that also helped you objectively look at your childhood shadows or these conditioning patterns that you have?
one of the things it started to do was that I wasn't very attached to my name. I had so many characters with so many different names, right? And some characters were very well loved by the audience, and walking down the street or, living my normal life, people would call me by the character's name. I would react, right? And then because so many different characters, you not necessarily react in the way that you then put on that character again, but it's that the name is not important. It's that something that I created with, the whole team touched someone's heart enough that they really felt something. And this time coming back to Hong Kong and reprising a role that, I played 20 years ago in a different way, but having the reactions that the audience had where they were just so happy, so overjoyed, so like, they send me such heartfelt messages, on all the different platforms to say, wow, you've given me hope, like, oh, it's so happy to see this character again. And it's just filmmaking is very much a team sport, and all of us together created something that was really special. And each project touches people in ways that you can't imagine until they tell you, that you've had such an impact on their lives. And it's just, again, it's a pause, right? It's that moment where they're moved, they're excited, they're sad, they're given hope, and they look at their lives in a different way. And it's nice because you're helping people to shift perspectives. And it's a very special place to be.
I think you are a conduit for change. So you are the vessel, and then multiple things come out.
I would love to be a
You're
conduit
like a prism,
for change.
like a prism when light goes in and the rainbow comes out, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. Actually, my aunt, she's 84, 85 now, but she used to do she's a script writer, right? And she said very similar things that, she took her job very seriously because in the film industry, right, everything matters. Every conversation, every characters matters because once you put it out on the screen, it actually creates the ripple effect that you were talking about, that actually create a social structure, right? Like the fabrics of society, that like how people remember things, how people associate things. Right? And music is the same thing. So I think that having, in the creative world like you guys, I think actually is a very big and like a role in the society, and how to support and one step at a time, like influencing and helping create a the mindsets that we want to push forward, and push toward.
Because with that, you inspire, right? You give them like a sense of like, no, I can change my life. You make them feel better about their lives. You make them look at and notice the little moments, the little sweetnesses that maybe in their rush to keep doing, they overlook. But to just realize that, wow, every day there is so much abundance, right? There's beauty all around us. There are these systems and cities that we live in that someone has created. And it's like, whether it's the subway system or the road system or everything has a beauty to it. And if you just stop and marvel at this beauty, right? It's just like, it just makes life so much sweeter. And because you feel that, your shoulders are relaxed, your energy is brighter, and you encourage people to react to you in the best way. If you need help, someone helps you. You ask nicely, like someone will help you with your bags or with the door or with whatever you need is there for the asking, if you bring the right energy to it.
Yeah.
I think that's the power of the arts as well.
Yes.
Because it is both a reflection of our society, a reflection of society's past, and also the future as well. And that's the power of the arts, because it is about humanity. And when we look at humanity, we are not just judged by numbers. We are not just judged by, anything physical. It is the intangible that is the thing that people remember most before they die. It's not the most tangible things. Like, I don't think about how much money I have in my bag before I die. I'm going to die anyway, right? In that sense. And so we are dealing with that's why the arts are essential in any society. It gives us identity, a common bonding, but it also reaffirms our position as humans. A lot of people don't understand that.
And how we relate to each
Exactly.
other. Because that's what it is to be human. Not to just be alone. Yes, you do work on your own, you work, you're on your foundations, but it's how you live, in relation with everyone else, right? It is an interdependence.
And I think mindfulness and such modalities are also a spectrum of the arts as well, in that sense. And all around the world, you will see like arts funding, getting cut because they feel the arts programs or music programs, for example, are not very useful in schools. STEM programs are probably more important. But I think the large part is that there needs to be, again, if you follow the idea of a balance, to have a balanced life, one needs to have everything. It's like a balanced diet in that sense.
Yeah.
So one cannot think that the arts is not essential in society. It doesn't seem very apparent, but there are repercussions and effects when you pull that out from curriculum or you cut the funding for such things, because then your people become very much less, or rather they can't fulfill the potential that they can have as humans in this earth.
Yeah, totally agree. Because art actually speaks to our soul, right? And everything out the stem, and they are more mind focused. And back to the yin and yang, it is about 50-50, right? It's kind of half and half. So without art, it's like then we cut off our soul communication, and that is very dangerous path to go down.
And our soul needs to grow too.
Yes.
And it needs fuel. It needs to be refreshed. It needs, energy. It needs, joy and adventure. And
Right. The soul actually is the one that needs to grow.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? It's like you say, our physical body is like when it dies, just die, right? But the soul, like, is the one that can, continue to bring like art. Why does art, like Van Gogh, like, is here for years, like after they passed away? Why? Right? Because that energy,
speaks to the
like, it
soul.
speaks
and
forever.